Well, hello and welcome back to math class. You will notice that we are on lesson 16. We're talking from ratios to rates. Rates is our new thing we're going to talk about. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's look at example number 1. It says Diet Cola was on sale last week. It cost $10 for every 4 packs of Diet Cola. Well, $10 for every 4 packs. Can you put a box around that for me? Because that is actually considered a rate. Okay, $10 for every 4 packs. How much do 2 packs of Diet Cola cost? Well, we could make a simple table by saying cola and cost. So let's make a little table here. We know that for 4 packs of cola, we spent $10. I want to know what 2 packs. Well, if you notice, I went from 4 to 2 by cutting in half. So 10 cut in half would be $5. So how much do 2 packs of Diet Cola cost? We would say 2 packs of Diet Cola cost $5. Well, how much does 1 pack of Diet Cola cost? Well, once again, we've got our cola and we've got our cost. If I make a little table here again, we already know that 2 packs of cola cost $5. Oops. And I want to know how much 1 pack of cola costs. Well, I went from 2 to 1 by dividing by 2, so 5 divided by 2. If I had $5, what would $5 cut in half be? It would be $2.50. So we would say that 1 pack of Diet Cola costs $2.50. Well, this is an important thing for us to know because we have gone down to what we call the unit rate. Unit rate means we found out how much 1 item costs. So I want you to highlight or circle or something, and I want you to go ahead and write the word unit rate. Unit rate is how much 1 item costs. So the important thing I want you to remember is when you see the word unit, you want to know how much something is to 1. Okay? Well, the other silly term that we sometimes look at, we take the word unit rate and we actually say rate unit. Well, a rate unit is basically the label we're putting on. And so if you look at what our story is about, our story has been about how many dollars per pack. So our rate unit in this story would be dollars, and this slash means per pack. Okay, let's move down to the next one. All right, the exploratory challenge. Tegan went to Gamer Realm to buy new video games. Gamer Realm was having a sale, $65 for 4 games. I'm not much of a gamer, but sure seems like a good buy. He bought 3 games for himself and 1 game for his friend. Okay, that's my 4. His friend Diego, but Tegan does not know how much Diego owes him for 1 game. What is the unit price of the video game? So remember, unit price means we want to know how much 1 video game costs. Well, we know that 4 games cost $65. And so if I think about the fact that, I'm going to make my little picture here. Here's my 4 games, and they all cost $65. So that means I have to take 65 and divide it by 4 to find out how much each game costs. So let's go ahead in our math book right here. Let's do a little bit of long division. Let's go ahead and take 65 and let's divide it by 4. So I know 4 goes into 6 one time. Subtract. Bring down my 5. 4 goes into 25. Looks like it's 6 times would be too many times. So looks like we'll have to do, well, no, it can do 6. How about that? 6 times 4 is 24. Let's go ahead with that. Oh, look at this. We still haven't finished. But since we're talking money, we're wanting to find out money, we can actually add a decimal. So I'll put the decimal here and up here, and we'll add some zeros. Let's bring down our first 0. 4 goes into 10 2 times, which is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. Oh, I think this might come out even. Bring down my other 0. 4 goes into 20 exactly 5 times. So we have found out that one game costs $16.25. This would be considered our unit price, $16.25 per game. Now it says, what is the rate unit? If you remember, rate unit is just kind of like our label per something. And so once again, we're talking money, we're talking dollars, but not per pack this time. We're talking, so our rate unit down here would be dollars. And then we would say per video game. All right, let's turn over and go to the next page, please. All right, so we have a story here of 4 football fans took turns driving the distance from New York to Oklahoma to see a big game. Each driver set the cruise control during his or her portion of the trip, enabling him or her to travel at a constant speed. The group changed drivers each time they stopped for gas and recorded their driving times and distances in the table below. All right, so we have our 4 drivers here, Andre, Mateo, Janae, and Grayson. We have the distance that they traveled and how long that they drove for. Now, we don't know what they set their cruise control at, so we don't know how many miles they went per hour, so we're going to solve that. All right, let's move down here. What 2 quantities are being compared? Well, if you notice in our table, we are comparing distance to time. And we can actually even be more specific. The distance we're talking is miles. And the time we are talking is hours. Okay. What is the ratio of the 2 quantities for Andre's portion of the trip? So if I look up at Andre, he is 208 to 4. Okay, that's his ratio. I want to know his rate. Rate means I want to know how many miles he went per hour, which means I need to take 208 to 4 and reduce it to a unit, meaning I want it to be 1. Okay? Well, in order to go from 4 to 1, I had to divide by 4, which means over here, I have to divide by 4. So we need to do 208 divided by 4. Now, let's go ahead and do 208 divided by 4, and I have 52. So I found out Andre is 52 miles per hour. So over here I would write 52 miles per hour. All right, we're going to do the same thing for the other 3 drivers. So what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and look up here at their ratios, write their ratios down, and then I want you to see how many miles they went per 1 hour. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can work on those 3 for me. All right, well, I hope you had enough time and pause your video so that you could solve these for me. If you remember, we wanted to know how far each driver went per hour. And so obviously you had to divide by 8 over here, and you had to divide by 8 over here. And if you did that, you found out that this answer was 57. So Mateo went 57 miles per hour. For Janae, you should have found out that Janae went 50 per 1. So 50 miles per hour. And last but not least, we had Grayson. And remember, we're wanting to know how per 1 hour. So on this one, we had to divide by 5 over here and divide by 5 over here. And we have a 53 here. All right, so it says for each driver in parts B and C, circle the unit rate. Unit. So, for example, Andre's unit rate would be 52 miles per 1 hour. Remember, unit means per 1. Mateo is 57 per 1 hour. Janae would be 50, and Grayson would be 53. They are all the unit rate per 1 hour. When it says then to put a box around the rate unit would be our label here. Miles per hour, miles per hour, miles per hour, and miles per hour. Okay, let's flip over to the last problem. The last problem says, a publishing company is looking for new employees to type novels that will soon be published. The publishing company wants to find someone who can type at least 45 words per minute. Okay, 45 words per minute. That would be per 1 minute. So this is our unit. Dominique discovered she can type at a constant rate of 704 words in 16 minutes. Does Dominique type at a fast enough rate to qualify for the job? Explain why or why not. All right, so I'm going to give you guys some time. I'd like for you to go ahead and pause your video, and I want to see what different ways you could possibly come up with to see whether or not Dominique will get the job. We need to find out for Dominique how many words she can get in 1 minute to see if she will qualify for this position. So go ahead and pause your video. All right, well, let's see how you did. I found out that Dominique does not type at a fast enough rate. And let me show you a couple ways that I tried to solve this. So one is I went ahead and set up a table, and I know that in 16 minutes she could do 704 words. So I cut those both in half and had 8 to 352. And I cut those in half again, 4 to 176. And I cut that in half again, 2 to 88. And then last but not least, I cut that in half again. 2 and a half would be 1 to 44. So I found out that in 1 minute, she could type 44 words. And the directions say she needs to type 45. So she would not be fast enough. A second way I thought I could also solve this problem if I wanted to is I could do a proportion. And I could say 704 words per 16 minutes, right? But I want to know how many words she can do in 1 minute. And so if you remember, in a proportion, we cross multiply. This would be 704. And then, of course, I take 704 and I divide it by 16, and I would get the answer 44. So does Dominique type at a fast enough rate to qualify for the job? No, she did not. And I have a table either to prove it or a proportion. Okay. All right. So what I want you to remember from this lesson is I want you to remember when I'm looking at a unit rate, I'm looking at per 1. For example, 44 words per 1 minute. Okay. That's what I want you to know. I want you to find out per 1 minute, per 1 pack, per 1. Let's see, what else do we look at? Per 1 mile per hour, or how many hours per 1 hour. Okay, so go ahead and you guys can stop the video, and you should have a simple and short Google form to fill in.